wonder what that was.
Slovensko!
We just checked TV. Yeah, ding, ding, ding!
Oh, look at this, see? He wants the Canadian. Yes. Go Canada.
Daniel! Číslo 77 Martin Šloudáš a číslo 91 Matúš Cuker. Trénerom Slovenska je pán Craig Ramsey, asistenti Jan Pardaj a Robert Petrovický. Goalkeepers, number 30, Joel Hoffer. And number 50, Jordan Bennington. First line, number 25, Owen Power. Number 55, Colton Parayko. Number 13, Brendan Tanner. Number 17, Jack McBain. And number 18, Dawson Mercer. Second line, number 4, Bowen Byron. Number 24, Jamie Alexiak. Number 38, Brandon Hagel. Number 80, Pierre-Luc Dubois. And number 91, John Tavares. Third line, number 21, Kanan Gooley. Number 78, Damon Severson. Number 14, Dylan Ginta. Number 19, Jareth McCann. And number 20, Nick Paul. Fourth line, number 3, Olin Zellweger. Number 8, Michael Bunting. Number 2.
Quarterfinal day has arrived at the 2024 World Hockey Championship, and this is the tough one. Win today, you know you're playing on Sunday for a medal. Lose today, you go home tomorrow morning. And for the Slovaks, that has been the case in recent years. They have been 8th or 9th in each of the last 5 World Championships. They come in with a record of 4-2-1, taking on 7-0 Canada, which won Group A. John Tavares has been strong for Canada, #1 in the tournament in face-off percentage. The referees are Martin Frano of Czechia, Mikko Kokakori of Finland. The linesmen are Kevin Briganti of the United States and David Zundi of Latvia. Also underway at this hour, Switzerland and Germany. In the other early quarterfinal, Andre Tournier coaching his 3rd straight World Championship for Canada. Won a gold medal last year. And Craig Ramsey, the 73-year-old, has been the coach of the Slovak national team since 2018. He led them to a bronze medal at the Olympic Games in 2022. The Canadians have had some wild rides. They beat Czechia in overtime after the Czechs scored 2 late goals to tie it. And the Slovaks have had an overtime win against the United States and a shootout loss to Latvia on their record. A lot of World Championship veterans for the Slovaks, including Peter Čereznak, the 31-year-old. Most of these Slovaks play in Czechia. In fact, the Slovaks have more players in the Czech League than the Czechs do. Jordan Bennington, the 30-year-old from Richmond Hill, Ontario, gets the start for Canada. He is 5-0 and .872 save percentage. Canada has the 2nd worst save percentage in the tournament, next only to Denmark. And Samuel Levi, the 22-year-old, gets the start for Slovakia. He's 3-0-1 in the tournament, has the #1 save percentage at .939. Canada's the home team has the last change. They will reseed after these quarterfinals. So the highest remaining seed will play the lowest, and the 2 middle will play each other in the semifinals on Saturday. Colton Parayko, who leads Canada in ice time, looks ahead for Brandon Tanev. That pass misfires, and the faceoff will come back down to the Canadian zone.
Andre Tournier has clearly established who he likes to start. Periods, games, Jack McBain line. He's their defensive line. Tanev, Mercer, and they will get the Slavkovsky-Krivik challenge in this one.
Here's Slavkovsky on right wing for Slovakia. Leads them in ice time per game at 19 minutes, 17 seconds a game. You will see a forward-leaning team like that. Fairbarri up the face-off. Wynn plays that back to Slavkovsky with a shot that deflected wide. Slavkovsky 7 assists for the Slovaks. No goals so far. He has been the driver of play for the Slovaks. Slavkovsky, just 20, has already played in the World Junior, 2 World Championships, and the Olympics prior to this. Long shooting, knocked away by Bennington. There's Colton Parayko. Slides ahead to John Tavares, the only Olympic gold medalist on Canada's roster. 16 of the 24 Canadian players have won a gold medal at an IIHF competition previously for Canada. Bennington out to play it. Round he goes to Caden Gooley. Up ahead to Brandon Hagel. That pass misfired. It's knocked ahead by Mihaly Ivan. Kodacek centers it. That pass missed single. Now back around. Here's Damon Severson up ahead for Tavares. And John Tavares, who scored the overtime goal for Canada. Lead pass for Hagel. Fired that wide. Against Austria, that wild game where Canada had the 6-1 lead. Now single falls. Loose puck in front. Just missed by Hagel. Back at the point. Severson swings it back across. Dubois with a shot. And the save made by Levi. Slovaks lost their last 2 games in the preliminary round. A 3-2 shootout loss to Latvia. Then they were pasted 6-1 by Sweden. A lot of that going around in Group B. Jamie Alexiak up from Michael Bunting. Chips that ahead for Andrew Mangiapane. He's knocked down by Mario German. Here's German with it. A lot of these Slovaks have North American connections. Nearly half of them played in the CHL. That's knocked free. And chipped ahead by Nick Paul. Up for Michael Bunting, walking in, he shoots! And Levi gets a piece of that. Played back in by Bowen Byram, who returned to the Canadian lineup against the Czechs after serving a 1-game suspension. And Nick Paul back to pick it up. He'll head off as Owen Power finds Dylan Gunther. In comes Gunther with a chips it back in front, poked away by Levi. Owen Power's in deep. He finds Gunther. Works it back at the point. Jared McCann. Back for Colton Parayko. For Connor Bedard, who is listed as Canada's 13th forward for this game. At the point, Parayko a shot, pad save by Levi. McCann sends it back in front. And picked up by Dano, who sends it back to center ice. And in comes Jared McCann, gets a step, moves in, scores! He flips it over Levi and gives Canada an early lead. And this line strikes again for Canada.
This tremendous speed off the puck in support of each other, and a quick counter. Parayko snaps it right up through Bedard's feet and push is in a tough spot. And Levi goes all or nothing. When you look for a poke check, you're a hero, or it pops off your stick, drips over your backside and in the back of the net. Don't know if Levi had to do that. He had support on the inside with a defenseman there to pinch off McCann. But McCann, his role has been growing on this team as the tournament has gone along. Opens the scoring for Canada.
Third goal of the tournament, plays for Seattle in the NHL, had a great year there again. 29 goals this year, 40 the year before for the Seattle Kraken.
He's a high percentage finisher. Really shoot the puck.
Now Caden Gooley brings it in, drops it back. In comes McBain with a shot. It's off the stick, up and out of play.
And what's interesting is that's the fourth line. And that's supposed to be Paul, Gunther, and McCann. Bedard's the 13th forward, but with this great first shift, Bedard probably gets more ice time. McCann might play a little bit more often. And Andre Tournier will mix and match his lines as it looks like everyone's going and play 13 forwards and not just 12.
In the IIHF, you dress 20 skaters, not 18 like the NHL. Most teams go 13 and 7. Some European teams will go 12 and 8 to have 4 full units. That's brought in by Dawson Mercer. Walks right in, feeds it down to McBain, throws it back in front. That's knocked away by Marek Livik. The Slovaks are without Martin Pospisil of the Calgary Flames. As Dawson Mercer sends it back across. Levi, a good save there on Gooley.
That is a nice passing play and tight off the rush.
Pospisil with 7 points in 7 games for the Slovaks, a big loss for them. Swiss taking on the Germans at this hour. Later on tonight in Ostrava, it'll be Sweden against Finland, and the Finns will be without their captain, Mikael Granlund, who got a 1-game suspension. Here's single shoot. That hit off the leg of Gooley in front, brought back by Hagel, along with Dubois and Tavares. And Brandon Hagel slides that down. Levi out to play it. Levi spent a couple years in the Quebec League with Sherbrooke. And now another chance in front that's knocked away from Hagel. And Levi signed a 2-year deal with Minnesota in April, heading back to the NHL. There's a long shot by Byram. Rebound, score! Pierre-Luc Dubois flips it home. It's 2-0 Canada. 4 minutes and 15 seconds in.
Pierre-Luc Dubois, this #1 line for Canada, goes to work down below the goal line where they've been so hard to handle. Tavares back to the point. Byram waits for a screen to develop. And then active sticks, active bodies track down the rebound first. And you watch Pierre-Luc Dubois, he is just so strong. Nemitz is beside him but doesn't tie him up. He pops on a rebound and chips it up and over. That's 2 now on the back end. They've been flipped over. Levi, and a dream start for Canada. Up 2, barely 4 minutes into the game.
2 goals, 90 seconds apart to give Canada an early 2-0 lead. Michael Bunting steps into it. Tomorrow, an off day at the World Championship. The IIHF Congress will meet. That's chipped ahead. Byram back with it. And at that meeting, Paris and Lyon will be confirmed as the host cities for the 2028 World Championship in France. Here's Bowen Byram with a long shot that went just wide. 6-1, the shots on goal in favor of Canada. Bunting back on it. Tied up there by Patrick Koch. A penalty coming against the Slovaks. It's a cross-checking call. And so Canada up 2 will go to the power play.
Going from bad to worse as Ehrman is going to go into the box for the cross jerk right here on Cousins.
Yeah.
I guess you'd be mindful to shove and not cross-check. But now for Canada, whose power play has been getting progressively better with the tournament's leading power play goal scorer in Dylan Cousins on the ice. Try to really put a stranglehold in this game 3-0 early.
And you mentioned Cousins also, 2 shorthanded goals. His shorthanded overtime winner in Canada's last game against Czechia, just the second shorthanded OT winner in the history of the tournament. Ryan Ralston had one for the United States in 1996 in the bronze medal game. Tavares a long shot, Levi hangs on to that.
And it's really been this line that has done the scoring on the power play, this group, this unit, with Cousins. And you think, well, Tavares is the best in the tournament on the faceoffs. Why is he not taking them? Well, Nick Paul's 3rd best, so he's not a bad option.
Not a bad step down. Now Cousins taps that back for Tavares to Power. Owen Power to Dylan Cousins. And Cousins has a look. Feeds that back to Power. Back across to Cousins. That backdoor pass for Tavares is knocked down and sent back down the ice. And no offense to this game, but this is the appetizer. Tonight, Czechia, USA in this building will be wild. Mangiapane plays it across to Paul, tries to drop that back, it's picked off, Tavares races to it. Now Cousins comes up and chipped by him, and Power has to trail back. And talking to some of the American players yesterday, they can't wait to experience what they've seen on television from Prague. Mangiapane tries to work it back in front, sent down the ice by Regenda.
Too unselfish there by Mangiapane. He's trying to force a pass. He's got a great opportunity. You're up 2-0. Goalie could be a bit shaken. He could score from the hash marks.
And away comes Byram with it. He drops it back for Dubois. And now Bedard out there in the power play. McCann slides that back to Byram. Cross he goes to Bunting. Byram across to McCann with a hard shot. Levi the save. And Dubois put the rebound wide. Move back around to Bedard. And Bedard chips that back to Bunting. Bedard 5 goals in 7 games for Canada in the preliminary round. Bunting back to Byram. Bunting rink wide to Bedard. And Bedard winds his way in. Looks back down to McCann. That deflected and Lai made a pad save. Bunting back with it. 20 seconds to go on the Canadian power play. Bunting reaches for it and feeds that back to Bedard at the point. Now Bedard winds in. Has a look, has a lane, feeds it across. And Byram sends it back to McCann. Drop pass for Bedard. Feeds that down to Dubois. Bounces just wide. Connor Bedard, fond memories of his last game against the Slovaks. The overtime winner of the World Junior Championship in 23 in the quarterfinals. And McCann put that high. Teams are back to full strength. Kept alive by Byram. Plays it back down to Bunting with Dubois. Feeds it back to Bedard. And that's knocked down by Marco Dano. Dano tied up, feeds it back across, but the play's offside at the Canadian line. 2 early goals give Canada a 2-0 lead on Slovakia.
Hey, Bob, do you already know how much is yet in check? How much of it? Yeah, it's 5. It's really 5. So give us 5. Let's go. Our baskets, book and move back. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are everyone's your 5.
.44 to go here in the first period. And Ostrava no score in the first period between the Swiss and Germany. And again, the reseed after the quarterfinal round. Canada is the number 2 seed. Sweden is first. So they can't meet, if they do, until the final.
Sweden does get to meet Finland in the quarterfinals. Finland's not been a great team in the tournament so far, but
playing against Sweden
against Sweden.
All of a sudden, that opponent, they bring out the best and the worst in each other. The famous gold medal game in Torino in 2006. The Saku Koivu's stick broke on the face-off. Nick Lidstrom scored the goal.
I saw Nick Lidstrom earlier before the game. I'm telling you,
yes,
he could play.
100%.
100% he could play in one of these games, no problem.
Tanev tries to center it. Picked back up by Mercer. Back to Pareko. Taps that back in the corner. Shots now 9-1 Canada. That centering pass by Mercer knocked away, and it's moved by Power and back down the ice. That'll be an icing call against the Slovaks.
So for Canada, this is exactly what you're hoping for. Get off to a quick start. The Slovakia on your heels. Puncture the Levi bubble of excellence he'd have so far, and they've done just that. McCann and then Dubois. 2 quick goals. And Canada's in full control. And you would have thought for Slovakia to hang in this game, they'd want to keep it tight, want to keep it low scoring and close.
Off the draw, Hagel reaching for it. That's knocked away and brought back by Slavkovsky. Juraj Slavkovsky bumped at center ice by Severson. Cehlarik centers it, and that's bed in the net by Hagel by accident. Off the stick of Hagel in the net. And the Slovaks are back within 1.
They needed a break to get into the game. They got one, and a big one. Cehlarik just drifts what is intended to be a pass. So far, it starts with Hagel missing a handle, a backhand in the slot. He's on the back check. He's going to pick this one off that is intended for Slavkovsky on. And there's a danger in swinging that pucks in the air right in front of your goaltender. And there's nothing Vinny can do about this. It's an unfortunate break for Hagel in Canada, and Slovakia right back into the game.
Shimon Nemec gets the goal, his second of this tournament. He too, now a veteran of 2 World Juniors. Probably Cehlarik gets the credit for the goal. 2 World Juniors, 3 World Championships and Olympics for him. The Slovaks have 11 from their bronze medal team at the 2022 Olympics.
I mean, you couldn't do that if you tried for Brandon Hagel. Like that was a tip they wouldn't be able to pull off if you intended to. Or Jordan Binnington can't catch a break. I mean, second shot, he's got nothing going on. It's put in by his own guy.
Binnington leaves it there for Severson. Losing the sign of the goal, and now Gouli plays it back across to Paul. New life now for the Slovaks, being outshot 9-2, but back in a 1-goal game. Here's Paul back on it to Gunther. Dylan Gunther banks that back around to Bedard, centers it, and Tatar knocked that away from Gunther. Gouli back with his long shot, tipped wide by Paul. Here's Bedard back on it. Tried to thread that ahead. Now Bedard throws that down to Paul. Nick Paul drops for Connor Bedard. Winds in, shoots from a sharp angle off the side of the goal, tries to get it back, and now it's picked up by Tatar. Tomáš Tatar being watched there by Gunther. Shifts it ahead to Martin Ferivari of the Washington Capitals. And Ferivari winds his way in. Waits for teammates to arrive, drops it back, and Koch misfired on that. Pavel Regenda trying to dig that free. That's picked up by Mangiapane, and it's kept on the line by German. Feeds it across. Chaho sends it back in front. Now Koch feeds that down to Chaho. Alexiak back around to Cousins. Chips it ahead to Byram jumping in. He's got Bunting and Mangiapane with him. Bouncing puck for Bowen Byram. Still on it, banks that back to Bunting. And Michael Bunting throws it back in deep. Mangiapane tried to find it. Patrick Koch took that away. Koch played 1 game for Arizona this year, spent most of the year in Arizona of the Tucson of the American Hockey League. There are 11 teammates from the NHL playing against each other today.
That goal has got the crowd back involved.
Yeah.
The very pro-Slovakian crowd was pretty quiet, pretty stunned to start.
From Ostrava, Christoph Berchi has scored short-handed to give the Swiss a lead on Germany. The Swiss, a very aggressive penalty kill team, as Power puts that just wide. Tavares back on it. Bouncing puck at the side of the goal. Their penalty killers gave Canada fits in Canada's 3-2 win. Now rink wide pass, knocked back by Schukel. Picked up by Regenda. Back around for Kellerman. Milos Kellerman knocked down. Parayko reaching for it. And there's Kellerman back on it. Bowls his way to the side of the goal, and Binnington gets his pad down and swats the rebound away. And Dubois plays it high off the glass. A race for it. Hagel. And icing waved off as Hagel gets there first. Hagel trying to dig that free. McBain comes on for Canada. Jack McBain drops that back for Mercer. Put it towards the goal by Olin Zellweger. That goes just wide. Picked up now by McBain. Winds across the top and spins that back in deep for Mercer. And Farivari steps into him. Zellweger steps up, but Tanev took that for Canada. Brandon Tanev winds across, sends it back in front, just missed Mercer. Now Zellweger back with it. Zellweger for McBain, throws that through the crease, and it bounces back to Alexia. Zellweger feeds it across. Tanev with a shot. Levi makes the pad save. Zellweger back with it. McBain fighting for space in front. Tanev reaches for it, knocked it away from Kellerman. Centers it, and that's picked off by Schukel. Picked off again by Mercer, though. Canada with a line change needed as Mercer moves it away. Drops that back to Zellweger. Olin Zellweger slides that down to Cousins. Back to Zellweger. Canada's 7th defenseman in this tournament. Zellweger spins it back in deep. He needs a change as well. Tanev on it for Cousins. Mangiapane comes in as well. Now picked free by Ivan. And that's intercepted by Mangiapane. Zellweger still out there. Holds the line and slides it back in deep. Picked up by Farivari. Zellweger needs off. And now finally will get a change as Alexiak brings it in. Feeds it back in front. Mangiapane with the puck. It rolled away from him. Bunting falls. And Slavkovsky chips it ahead for Slovakia. But Severson takes that away. Cousins back with it. Backhands that rink wide for Mangiapane. And Mangiapane works in. Bunting on it. Bunting spins back in the corner. Drops that back to Paul with a shot that deflects wide. Put high in the air by Gaidos. The center ice. Sent back in by Cheresnak.
Those are the long offensive zone shifts Canada really wants, just wearing down Slovakia.
Now McCann throws it ahead. Gaidos knocks it down. Bedard almost stole that from him. Bedard back after it. Now McCann throws it back in front. Just missed Paul. And brought back by Tomas Tatar. Drops it back for Koch. Long shot, gloved by Binnington. And he'll hang on. 2-1. Canada leads here in the first period.
Now Gina brings you the official makeup look. We give you a taste. Try that's also been a virtual mirror. With this fashion, the skill, the legendary looks. What a great smile the immense stick on your cheering face. Choose your colors as you like. And here we go. The beauty of hockey with Latino. On again. Still on. Hello. Let's love it. On again. Hello. Step into our virtual mirror at Latina and find your good pure snow. Latina, beauty that scores. That's me. Don't worry. Latina also brings products for you. Hello. Over again. Still got it. Be excited.
.6:57 to go here in the first period. A 2-1 lead for Canada on Slovakia.
But Slovakia just trying to hang around. Canada had a really strong push, couple goals early, but unfortunate break has them within one and very much in the game.
It's moved in front by Hudacek. Now picked up by Power, looks ahead for Tavares. And Tavares had that blocked by Tatar, now held. And a long shot whistled wide by Hudacek. Parayko back around to Hagel. And Hagel battling with German for the puck in the corner. Now picked out by Parayko. Snaps it back in front for Pierre-Luc Dubois. And away comes Dubois, looks ahead for Tavares, and that pass misfires, icing called against Canada.
Tavares, Dubois. The wires crossed there. Tavares wasn't sure if that pass was for him or not. As you take a look at Vodacek, who's having a fantastic tournament for Slovakia, leading their team in scoring 9 points. Vodacek
kicked out of the game against Canada last year for a 5-minute major for boarding, a hit from behind. Canada won that game in a shootout 2-1. Levi rather was the goaltender for Slovakia in that game. It was Sam Montembeau for Canada. Off the face-off, we'll give that one to Slovakia. Regenda back with it. Regenda shoots, that's knocked wide as Tavares knocked Chaho down in front. At the line, picked up by Dubois, looks ahead for Tavares, and he's got it. Tavares has it taken away by Szymon Nemec, the second overall pick behind Slafkovsky in the 2022 draft. And Nemec played 60 games this year for New Jersey in his first year in the NHL. They had a raft of injuries. He probably played more than they wanted to.
More minutes, more games, bigger role. Both him and Luke Hughes were forced to take on a lot.
Well, Severson left, Ryan Graves left, Dougie Hamilton got hurt, and all of a sudden the roles changed. Here's Slafkovsky, who fires that back around, and Biddington back to pick it up. Leaves it there for Byram, up ahead to Mercer, and Dawson Mercer lifts that high in the air, back to center ice, knocked down by Ferivari, but he lost the handle for a moment. And Levi banks across for Cehlarik. Ferivari winds back for Slovakia, and Dooley goes after him in the corner. Mangiapane reaching for it, looking at for Cousins, but it's played back to the point. A hard shot there by Rivik, deflects just wide. Here's Slafkovsky back on it. Down he goes to Cehlarik. That pass picked off by Severson, flips it back the other way, it bounces back in front. And that long shot by Cheresnak, knocked down. Biddington reaching for it. Dooley blocks that shot by Slafkovsky. He still got it. And Slafkovsky picks that free. Bunting knocks it back for Mangiapane, who chips it to center ice. Brought back by Rivik. And Cehlarik plays that in deep. Bouncing puck in front for Slafkovsky. Got away from him. And Severson has it back for Canada. Cousins flips that down to the Slovak zone. Suka comes in on Parayko. Suka drops it back to Cook with a shot that goes wide, picked up by Owen Power. And Power banks it ahead for Gunther. Chips that to Paul. So Gunther and Bedard have been taking turns on this line for Canada with Paul and McCann. Cook picks it off. That has it stolen away by McCann. And now McCann plays it back to Parayko. Colton Parayko along wrist shot that's knocked away in front by Cook. And banked back to center ice where McCann gathers it back up. Lead pass to Gunther, try to chip that back ahead for Paul. Power has it back. Owen Power down to Gunther. In the corner for Paul. Throws it back. Alexia with a chance. He ripped that wide. Here's Gunther back with it. Gunther back down to Paul. Chris crossing with Gunther. He slides that back at the point for Power. Winds it back in front. Tipped wide by Gunther. Alexiak back to Power. Canada changing. Rink wide pass to Hagel. Off the bench comes Tavares. He takes that pass from Hagel. And Tavares pivots back, walks in front, shoots, Levi save. Rebound picked up by Power. He sends it back in front, scooped up by Tavares. Back to Dubois. Across to Alexiak. Slides that down to Hagel. Tired Slovaks on the ice now. Tavares in, shoots. That's off a stick. Up and out of play. 3:06 to go here in the opening period. Canada a 2-1 lead.
Hey, Hackers, we have something for you. This is an official merchandise of this championship, and I'm gonna ask you, do you want this t-shirt yet? You want it? Take it. No, it will be not so easy, because you will need reflex and a bit of fun. So, let's the t-shirts fly! We still have 2 t-shirts, so make some noise!
4:06 to go. The face-off in the Slovak zone.
Another long shift in the offensive zone for Canada.
They have 3 or 4 where they've had to make a full change with the puck in the offensive zone. This is Tavares, Dubois, and Hagel for Canada. And Dubois pokes that around to Hagel. With the misfortune of the Slovak goal going off his stick behind Bennington. And now Kuhlman sends that bank down through the Canadian zone. Byram up for Zellweger. He's managed 4 assists rather in just 7.5 minutes per game of ice time. Regenda works in, feeds it back across. Kellerman's shot deflected away. Zellweger got a piece of that. That was a tap in, and Zellweger saved a goal. Dubois back the other way. Drops it back. Hagel in, shoots. He fired that wide. And the crowd's still buzzing about that. It looked like Zellweger got a piece at the last second.
It was a brilliant pass, wide open net. Bennington did not move. He'd given up on the play, but Zellweger was able to pick it off with his stick.
Sometimes it works. Mercer drops it off to Tanev. Now Parayko shoots, bouncing around in front, picked up by Matashukal. Rink wide to Mario German. Up ahead for Suko. Winds it on Mercer, banks it back around the other side. Marco Dano picks it up. He's flattened there by Parayko. And shoveled high in the air by McBain. Mercer trying to reach for it. McBain comes in as well. The play was onside for a moment. Now moved back to center by Dano. And Parayko blocked that pass. Picked up by McBain, who drops it back to Owen Power. One of 4 first overall picks playing in this game. 3 for Canada. Bedard, Tavares, and Power, and 1 for Slovakia, Slavkovsky. Now that lead pass bounced away from Bunting. Cousins gathers it back up and juggles the puck at center ice. Tips it back for Parayko across to Severson. Mangiapane chips it back down to the Slovak zone. Farivari. Back across to Rivik. And that lead pass goes to Nemitz. Sends it back in front. Rivik dropped it across and missed Cehlarik. Now from a sharp angle, Bennington makes the stop on the shot by Slavkovsky. Bunting back the other way. Drops for Gooley, back for Bunting. Michael Bunting had that pass bank away. Severson poked it back down to Bunting. Works it loose behind the net and feeds it back to Cousins. Cousins down to Gunther. And Dylan Gunther winds in, drops that back to Severson. Gunther fell, got bumped there by Slavkovsky, but Gunther wins that battle for the puck. Slavkovsky's been out there a while. Farivari plays it ahead, at the line, held by Severson for Gunther. Drops it off to Paul. Nick Paul shoots, he fired that just wide. Gooley sends it back in front. Levi made a pad stop on that.
Canada's got to hit the net. There's about a half dozen good chances where they've missed the net.
Nemitz. Back with it. Slovaks had a close chance a moment ago. Stopped by Olin Zellweger. It'll be a 2-1 lead for Canada.
And here's the one. Byram takes a big spill, and Kellerman's got a wide open net. Bennington was very late to react to the pass, and a behind-the-back blind desperation lunge with his stick keeps it out from Olin Zellweger, keeping Canada up 2-1.
First intermission coming from the 2024 World Hockey Championship.
Lots of good. Got to tighten up a couple things. Lots of good though. Very quick. I thought you were going to roll high. You guys are looking for on-hand rush. They're cheating the game. You don't have anything.
Score after the first period, Canada 2, Slovakia 1. Stav utkání po první třetině.
Move it, move it, move it, move it. Good. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Slow, slow, slow.
Another match being played in Australia, and the Bob Schmitz will be probably back because they're late to doubling up in the first period. The remaining quarterfinals, well, what a game in the evening here in Prague. What a game.
Once again, 2 derbies in Ostrava and maybe Czechoslovakia games here in Prague. I'm amazed.
Well, we will see, but in the evening it's going to be wild again because Team Czechia will face USA, and I think that everything will stop in this country for a while. But now let's focus on the game, Canada and Slovakia, and we're looking forward to our second period because you are really wonderful crowd.
Number 20.
Number 9 is number 30, 65.
Jordan Binnington was beaten once in that first period. A puck that went off teammate Brandon Hagel's stick. Faced just 7 shots in the opening period. And at the other end of the ice, Samuel Levi faced 13 Canadian shots. Beaten by Jared McCann and Pierre-Luc Dubois. Teams will start the second period 5-on-5. There's been only one power play. It went to Canada in that first period. And a period where the Slovaks
Guys, ready?
probably fortunate.
Good to go. Good to go. Hey, I need that line. I need that line. Thank you very much.
Yeah, he didn't get that line.
Nice of him to ask, though.
Yeah, very polite. Martin Frano, the Czech referee, asking for order and getting very little of it. Lead pass to Brandon Tanev, gets a step on Cehlarik. And Tanev back after it. As Cheresnak rather battling with Tanev in the corner. Vari comes in as well. You've seen delay of game penalties called in this circumstance throughout the tournament. Gets sent wide by Cehlarik. Up for Vari. Switzerland a 2-0 lead on Germany in Ostrava. There goes off the stick, up and out of play.
The offense, despite NX safety measures at the facility.
Owen Powers tournament in 2021, he played 3 seconds in the first period of his first game, and by the gold medal game, he played more than any skater on either team in the third.
Gerard Gallant, we asked about him before the tournament. He said, I don't know, he's here for the experience.
He's draft eligible. We'll see.
Basically, not planning on playing him at all, and then he became his most trusted defender.
Amazing how it goes.
A lot in his young career already.
Now Tavares back after it. Seagull steps in on him. It was knocked free by Tatar for a moment, and now Dubois has it back. Rink wide, he goes for Gouli. Caden Gouli snaps that pass out for Tavares. It missed him. Icing was waved off on the play as Gouli steps up. Rudacek moves up to center ice. Tatar. He and Tavares collide. Now picked up by Tatar. Tomas Tatar spins and shoots. Binnington the save. Loose puck in front. Got up by Hagel. Looks ahead for Dubois. Nemitz circles back on him. Rudacek. That long shooting goes right to Regenda, coming in, shoots. Binnington save. Loose puck in front. Chao skated by it. Rudacek with it now. Another good chance for the Slovaks. That's picked up by Cousins. Tied up by Germont. And shoveled out by Hagel. Patrick Koch. Slammed there by Gouli. And Hagel with a rolling puck, had that knocked away by Kulemin. Kulemin works that back. Koch with a shot. Stopped by Binnington. Loose puck in front. Binnington down. They're jamming away at him. But Binnington has it. And now Regenda's helmet's been knocked off. He's into it. Kulemin's into it.
A couple of North American players going at it. Kellerman and Regenda. And they both play with this kind of edge after some really good opportunities on the rebound. As Koch puts it in. Good save by Binnington through traffic, but he can't squeeze it. And Regenda starts trying to harpoon Binnington into the net, which draws everybody in.
And you see Kellerman getting into it with Severson.
That was after his earlier chance on the rebound. Oh, just off his heel. Oh, another one that should have been in the back of the net. That's 2 point blank on your tape, empty net chances. One blocked by a stick, one just over skated for Slovakia. They haven't had many, but they had a couple decent looks.
Bunting and Vari are renewing the Pittsburgh-Washington rivalry out there.
Kellerman is what he does. This is part of his thing. Tries to get under the skin of the opposition.
Played 10 games for Arizona this year to Milos Kellerman. Spent most of it with Tucson in the American League.
Well, Turini knows and has seen this before.
Yes.
Pretty good shots going at it in that little scrum. Back and forth. As Regenda's got both Canadian players, a la Dustin Byfuglien, two at once.
Craig Ramsey having a conversation with referee Mikko Kokkonen there.
And in all that, there was nobody headed to the box.
By the way, the Slovaks will play an Olympic qualifying again this August. They're the 9th-ranked team in the IIHF standings. Normally the top 9 get in the Olympics, but for the second straight Olympics, the host team automatically in is not ranked in the top 9. Italy well out of that range. So Slovakia will play Kazakhstan, Hungary, and Austria in a 4-team Olympic qualification tournament. One of 3 tournaments that will take place in late August, early September.
So the key is really being in the top 8 to guarantee your spot in.
Cehlarik got that tipped away by McCann. Played back down to Owen Power. Back across. Bolton Parayko winds in. Parayko Drops that back for McCann for Mangiapane. Andrew Mangiapane works in. It's knocked away from him. And Mangiapane tries to steal it back. He's taken down by Chalara. And here is Gaidos with it. Slavkovsky, that pass deflected away. Bunting's got it back. Up ahead for Pareko was leading the rush for Canada. Go off on a change. As Gaidos picks it up and plays it back around for Farivari. Lara plays that back around. It's battled wide by Merrick Rivik. Here's Slavkovsky, that rink wide pass deflected away by Bedard. A race for it now. Paul chops out ahead. And Levi way out to play it. Squeezes that ahead for Suko, but coming back was Alexiak to take that away. Banks it back ahead for Gunther, trying to find Bedard. Here's Dylan Gunther back on it for Paul. Rolling puck, Bedard. Looking for that pass from Paul, it just missed. Now racing ahead is Marco Dano, being watched by Gunther, and Alexiak comes in on Dano. Canada's won 5 straight against the Slovaks, but the 4 all-time quarterfinal innings are split 2-2. Byron throws that ahead. He finds Gunther. There's a pile up behind the play as Gunther comes streaking in. Dylan Gunther for Bedard. Feeds it back across. Paul scores! Connor Bedard to Nick Paul. Canada back up by 2.
It's a good finish by Paul, but really good decision by Dylan Gunther to recognize I could maybe drive this wide for a shot, but I got other people coming. Pulls up, gets it to Bedard, and the spacing's all off. For Mikhail Ivan, he's not in any place to block this pass. Easy drag, kick it over, and Levi's got to be so far out of the net on Bedard. It's a wide open end for Nick Paul.
And no offense to Nick Paul, but he's been on the receiving end of 2 unbelievable passes for his 2 goals. One by Andrew Mangiapane and that one by Bedard.
And Nick Paul has made a career now out of getting to the right spot and playing with good players.
Scored the power play goal against the Swiss that made it a 3-2 game. That was the final score for Canada. Mangiapane had 3 assists in that game. So Connor Bedard, who was listed as Canada's 13th forward in the game, picks up an assist.
He's had the puck more in this game than he has the previous 3 games combined.
Tanev plays it back. McBain working in. Bangs that back to Severson. Damon Severson a shot. It got through and Levi makes the stop.
One other part of that goal is Alexiak was tangled up in the corner and didn't take a penalty. So here's some near misses. Oh my goodness, Zellweger, empty net. Kellerman misses. This one's Chaho, wide open net. He heals it and misses. And you give up these good opportunities. Canada, wide open net. They don't miss. And a 2-goal lead restored for Canada by Nick Paul.
Switzerland still leading Germany 2-0 in Ostrava. Later today, USA Czechia here.
Buckle up.
And Sweden versus Finland. Another border battle. There's Tavares with it.
What a Chaho's hand.
Move that back ahead. Tavares swings it back in front for Hagel. He's taken down by German. The puck's still loose. Regenda trying to work it free. Now brought ahead by William Chaho. Farivari tries to throw that towards the goal. Gouli banks it back ahead for Hagel. And now picked up by Kellerman. Shoots him a sharp angle that deflects off a stick. Bounces back to Farivari. Swings it back across to Regenda. In for Chaho. And racing to the loose puck is Dubois. Up ahead for Tavares. Chips it up for Hagel. In comes Hagel now, one-on-one with Farivari. Hagel shoots, it's off Farivari and wide. In comes Cousins on the forecheck. Radacek plays that back down to the Canadian line. Here's Zellweger with it. Back across to Pareko. With the 20-man rosters, it is harder to find ice time for everyone. Zellweger works in and banks that wide. And Levi knocks that away. Now Mangiapane comes in for it. Bunting tries to feed that back in front. Here's Tatar back with it.
The other part is you have a whole bunch of players who are used to never missing a shift.
Right.
Let alone playing well on a little bit of time.
I was wondering when the last time Connor Bedard would have been listed as an extra forward.
And he was 4 playing with 14-year-olds.
Lucas Single. Up ahead for Hudacek. Throws that back down for Tatar. That missed. Cousins chips that back to Zellweger. Hudacek banks it back around. Parayko steps hard into him. Hudacek banks that back. And now loose in front. Hudacek being watched by Zellweger. Shoots. Pad save by Bennington. And Cousins flips that to Bunting up for Mangiapane. Mangiapane for Bunting. He's got Cousins with him. In comes Michael Bunting. And it rolls right through the crease.
He had Levi to the far post.
Now at the line, held by Byram. Plays it back in deep. That's knocked down by Nemitz. That's center ice. Slavkovsky sent that ahead. Oh, Rivik. Now brought in by Bedard. Here he comes again. Bedard back in front for Paul, and Levi chipped that away. Rivik returns now for Slovakia. Throws it back in front. Picked off by Paul. He's got Bedard and Byram jumping in. McCann there as well. In comes Bedard with his shot. It's off the stick of German and wide. Picked up by McCann. Down to Paul. Chips it back for Bedard. Connor Bedard back around for Paul. The point he goes for Alexiak, but he can't quite hold the line and flips it back into the Slovak zone. Here is Simon Nemitz. Incredibly experienced player already for the Slovaks at the age of 20. A sharp angle shot taken there by Kudrina. Kicked away by Bennington. Dano plays it off the back of the net. Byram reaching for it. Byram flips that back. Had a race for it now, McBain, but racing back is Koch to pick it up for Slovakia. Now pass stolen by McBain. In comes Jack McBain. Drops it for power. Shot rolled off his stick. Mercer back on as German takes that away. And here's Koch with it. Sent rink wide by Suko. Up ahead for Regenda, busting in, plays it back across, knocked away by Parayko. And a chance now for Hagel, but it skipped away from him. Cheresnak feeds it back around. Tavares gets to it. Bouncing puck in the corner, poked free by Parayko. Now Parayko has it stripped away. Regenda feeds that down. Kellerman shoots, Bennington the save, and the rebound gloved down by Parayko. Now loose on the side of the goal again. Regenda feeds it back in front, and Dubois can't move it out. Kellerman spins and shoots again. It's off Parayko into the corner. Pressure now from the Slovaks as Dubois goes after it. And Pierre-Luc Dubois chips out to center ice, trying to find Hagel. In on Farivari. Hagel steps into him, and Regenda comes back to pick it up. Long lead pass goes off Gooley. Back is Severson, who banks it back around for Caden Gooley. Flipped ahead to Mangiapane. Andrew Mangiapane works it back in front. Severson had jumped in, couldn't quite reach it. Now Severson in behind the goal. Flips it back. Bunting a quick shot. Levi the save, and the rebound rolled wide. Nemitz up around to Hudacek. That puck knocked down by Cousins. Cousins drops it back, but it's picked off and brought back by Tatar. Tomasz Tatar drops it back. Hudacek shoots on the rebound. Just missed by Single. And Cousins snaps that pass ahead for Mangiapane, but getting a stick on that was Mihal Ivan. He knocked it away. 10:34 to go here in the second period. Canada with a 3-1 lead.
It's time to go for Skoda fan of the game. Here is your conference with the official IIHF that is scored by Skoda. You can get the application with this QR code. Scan it, open the app, and then decide who will be Skoda fan of the game. Fan of Canada or fan of Slovakia. Dámy a pánové, že se svojím fanouškem dnešního zápasu hlasujete prostřednictvím oficiální aplikace, kterou mám přináleží značka Škoda. Máme na kandidáty Kanadu a Slovensko. To jsou oni! Here are two candidates. Now, time for your own. Hlasujte na Slovensku paníku Šimej Kamenjanku. Je to na vás. To je tu doma. It's time to show some moves. All again by Canada. Yes! Great career, but Slovakia still in the lead. Still in the lead, okay.
No matter what IHF event it is, this is the tough day, the quarterfinal day.
You invest the 3 weeks or a month to be here. If you don't win this one, you go home completely empty-handed with no opportunity to play for anything.
Canada has won 8 straight quarterfinal games going in. They've lost 5 in a row prior to that.
That was there for some of those 5 in a row.
Here's McCann back with it with Gunther. McCann tees it up and shoots. Levi the save. And McCann back after the rebound. Slavkovsky snaps that pass across to Cehlarik. Tries to find Rivik with it. The bouncing puck batted there by McCann. Now Powers got it back. Rivik was spilled there in a collision with McCann. Brought back to Gunther. Shoots. That was blocked. And Paul knocks that free for Gunther. Picked up by McCann. Back he goes to Power. Owen Power to look, shoot short side. Levi makes the stop on that as Paul stepped into Nemitz.
There's that corner board again.
Yeah, where the ice crew comes out.
It's not flush at all.
Slavkovsky with it. Spins back, being shadowed by McCann. Slavkovsky had the bucket behind him for a moment. Now feeds that back to German. Slavkovsky, 20 goals, 30 assists, a tidy 50 points for Montreal this year. Nice round numbers.
And that was on more like a 70-point pace the second half of the season.
Right, he really took off in the second half. Now chip back down the Canadian zone as Alexiak goes back. Jamie Alexiak knocked down by Kellerman. Feeds it back in front, but Byram sprawled to break that up. Kellerman, cross-check penalty coming to Byram as he plays it ahead, and the Slovaks with a power play here with 9:09 to go in the second period.
Guys, after 2 weeks, I still don't know if Bobek or Bob is a better dancer. So that will be your decisive dance battle. Okay, so Bobek, you are first. Okay. Quite good. And what about you, Bob? Your turn. So, who's better, Bob or Bobek? I think both of them are perfect. Guys, great job.
Team Canada on the floor, 2 minutes cross-checking.
So the Slovaks go to the power play, and Coach Craig Ramsey talked about before the game. It's been a problem. 1 for 23 in the tournament, and the one was scored by Martin Parscasol, who's not playing today.
But he said they were due for some good fortune. He thought they had done some good things. They need a tip, they need a rebound, and find a puck to get something going on the power play.
Cousins wins that face-off back to Parayko on his backhand. He plays it back around. Eagle has it knocked down by Slavkovsky. Alexiak back to Parayko. This goes off the glove of Tatar into the Slovak bench. The face-off will stay in the Canadian zone. The linesmen are conferring, but it will be a face-off in the Canadian end.
So consistency is key. This is very similar to the penalty German picked up early in the game. Cross-check, knocked the guy off stride in the battle, and Byram doesn't like it, but it's the same call that they made in the first period.
Now the linesmen have conferred again. The face-off's coming outside.
I think the first linesman thought the puck went straight into the bench. The second said, no, actually hit off Tatar's glove. He put it in the bench. Face-off will come outside.
Tomáš Tatar playing in his 7th World Championship. Played in the Olympics 10 years ago for Slovakia. And McBain for the face-off against Tatar. Chip back to Parayko. Ooh, look out. Almost hit the line from that clearing attempt and got it down the ice. Faravari gets around Tanev, slides that back to Slavkovsky. Slavkovsky feeds that back for Tatar. Tomáš Tatar straightened up at the line, but moved it back to Cehlarik. Here's Parayko back again, slaps it around, and off Slavkovsky and into the Canadian bench that time. And again, the linesmen are going to talk about where this face-off is going to be.
Talk about where Slavkovsky was there. He's inside the blue line when it clipped off his ankles. And 42 seconds is all the first unit gets. You're one for the tournament. You don't get any extra run. A fresh group and a fresh set of legs.
Cousins for the face-off against Matuszko. Wins that face-off back to Nemetz. Simon Nemetz. Pedacek. Back for Nemetz. Went off the skate of Cousins and back to center ice. Here is Nemetz with it. Pedacek. Long shooting goes just wide. Here's Dano back on it. Plays it back around for Rivik. Eric Rivik. Off the boards, feeds that back for Nemetz. Back to Rivik. Dano standing in front. Rivik goes rink wide. It's knocked down by Hagel. Gets a stick on Hudacek as well. Hudacek intercepted by Hagel. He's got Cousins with him short-handed. In comes Hagel with Cousins. Hagel back in front for Cousins. Gets the rebound back, shoots, and Levi makes the save. And now quickly the Slovaks are back up the ice. Rivik winds in, looks back across for Nemetz. Feeds it back, and it's tipped away by Power. Rivik back for Nemetz. Shoots, that's tipped wide as Severson got a stick on that. Power leaves it back. A race for it now. Hagel shaken up a little bit on that play. He's laboring noticeably, his left arm hurting. Here's Rivik back with it. Rivik in the corner with it. Rivik. Final seconds of the power play. Nemetz feeds it across. Hudacek. Shadowed by Hagel. Hudacek works it back in front. Again, the turn away by Binnington as Byram steps back on the ice. And Hagel lifts that high in the air to center.
They got to get this thing in deep, give guys a chance to make a change.
And they give it to Hagel, the guy who wants off.
He can barely breathe after that rush on the 2-on-1.
Bedard up for Tavares, tees it up and shoots, and Levi knocks that away. So Bedard gets a turn now with Dubois and Tavares as Hagel was killing that penalty. And now Levi will freeze that with both Tavares and Bedard lurking dangerously.
Hagel digs in to try to create the rush, looks to make a pass to the backhand, can't get it through, and a good job by Nemetz, but stays with it. After that, he is tired, trying to track them down. That's the danger when you go in for a rush chance, 30 seconds into a penalty kill shift. If you don't get a change afterwards, you're going to be gassed coming back. And Canada had 4 tired penalty killers, and they finally had some pressure. And I like this. Tournier recognized him. Dart's playing tonight. He's playing well. He's on the puck. He's making good decisions. Get him more ice where you can.
Has 5 goals in 7 games and an assist tonight, or this afternoon, should say. Just past 5:30 local time here in Prague. Zellweger plays it back in. Don't forget, he saved the goal for Canada in the first period. Dubois with it. And brought out by Lucas Singal. Playing the World Championship for the first time in 6 years for Slovakia. Now it's shoveled ahead for Tavares. Took a big hit there from German to move the puck ahead. Now he's got it back again. Tavares. Up ahead to Parayko walking in. Parayko drops it back and a hard shot by Bedard. Levi got just a piece of that.
Wow. Levi, every bit of the 6'4" frame to make that save.
3-1, Canada leads here in the second.
And now it's going to be someone's showtime. So guys, are you ready? 10 stairs are just yours. Enjoy it. What a perfect Czechoslovak culture. Thank you guys.
3-1 Canada leads here in Ostrava. Switzerland still up 2-0 on Germany in the second period. Switzerland is the 3rd seed coming out of the preliminary round.
Mexican win.
Canada is second. Off the face-off, Cook bangs that back down to the Canadian zone as Byram goes back. And icing called against the Slovaks. Owen Byram, a World Junior champion in 2020 for Canada. 9 of the Canadians have won a World Junior in the last 5 years. Overall, 11 Canadians have won a World Junior gold medal.
Given what we've seen in this atmosphere, playing in some hostile environments will serve them well. Emotional environments.
Gunther sends that rink wide. Alexia, a hard shot. Blocked in front, picked up by McCann. And Paul reaching for it. This is Paul with Gunther and McCann, the forward line, as Polk is back to pick it up. Polk made his NHL debut in April, his first year in North America. Gunther, crisp pass ahead for McCann. Got to slide that back ahead. Cehlarik knocked it down. And Polk with it. We've talked so much about the crowds here in Prague, but it was wild in Ostrava as well. You had the Slovaks who are close by, the Latvians aren't far away, Poland. That centering pass goes to Lefkowski, and a short side save made by Binnington. And Canada breaking it back, 3-on-2. Bunting drops it back for Byram, walks it and shoots. Levi save, rebound, and Levi pounces on that, but Bunting just inches away.
Chance at one and chance at another. And a good hard forecheck for Slovakia generates this look at Lefkowski at the side of the net. Stopped by Jordan Binnington, and Byron joins the rush. 3-on-2. That's a good decision to shoot in a scoring spot. Levi quick to the rebound as well. Not familiar with Levi, but that's bigger than you think. You look at him there, he looks like he looks big in net.
He's listed at 6'4", 218. We mentioned the 22-year-old was signed by Minnesota Wild to a free agent contract in April.
It's Minnesota's other highly touted goalie, Jesper Wallstedt, who's not playing right now for Sweden.
Mangiapane works it and shoots. Lemay the save on that. Hawk free again for Mangiapane. Cousins was tied up. And then Grivic back with it. Perivari swings that rink wide for Regenda. Pavel Regenda has it taken away by Bunting. And up ahead for Mangiapane, just out of his reach. As Cehlarik took that away. Brought in by Ferivari. Martin Ferivari shoots, rolled off his stick and wide. And Gouli plays it back around to Severson. Up for Bunting, chips that back head for Mangiapane, tied up again by Cehlarik. They fall. Let's move back to center ice. Nemitz feeds that back across for Rivik. Eric Rivik throws it rink wide for Kellerman. He's tied up by Mercer. Kellerman shoots from a sharp angle. That's gloved by Binnington, and he'll hang on.
Michael Bunting, a little bit quiet the last couple of games, but this is more like it. Big hit as he's looking for a change, and then draws a cross check. Kellerman and Bunting are mirror images of each other in style. Not surprised they get tangled up and after each other a little bit.
Trouble finds trouble.
Birds of a feather.
Inside 4 to go here in the second period. McBain for the face-off against Single. There's Tatar with it. Tomas Tatar tried to center it. McBain returning from last year's gold medal team for Canada. Kodacek's pass picked off by Mercer. Up for Power. He's got McBain with another as Power works in. Shoots, it's off a stick into the corner. And they say that went into the mesh as Parayko tried to gather it back up. And play is called. 3:36 to go here in the second. Played back to Power. Although Slovak coach Craig Ramsey, a disciple of Roger Nielsen, could match with the best of them. Tavares plays that back to Power. how good was Ramsey as a defensive player? He won the Selkie as the top defensive player in the NHL in his last season. In comes Sukal, and it poked away by Tavares. Sukal. Hustle off the puck by Tavares. Hagel reaching for it. Now Tavares ahead with Hagel. Tavares in across the line, throws that towards the goal, knocked down by German. And German looks ahead for Dano, stepping up his power on him. Owen Power saw a chance to pick up the puck. He did. The centering pass knocked down by German. And now Tavares pokes it free onside. And Sukal back to pick it up. Slovaks were in Division C in 1994 when Czechoslovakia split up. Worked their way to Division B the next year. Promoted that year, and they've been in the top division ever since. Gold medalists in 2002 in this tournament. Byram back with it. Owen Byram had the puck flip out for a moment. Now Byram back with it. Down for Gunther. Gunther chips that back to Bedard. Bedard feeds it across for Alexiuk jumping up. And you've got a Slovak player, Solarek, without a stick as Gunther banks that wide. Now Gunther back on it. Move by Byram. That'll be icing against the Slovaks.
It's not a bad idea. You see a broken stick out there. Just ice it, take the whistle, get a stick, settle things down, even if you're tired, even if the other team's going to change. And Connor Bedard has really responded. He had some quiet ice time, took a bad penalty in the third period of the last game, didn't play after the penalty. And he's come back and he's been really good in this game, moving the puck around, moving his feet, and making better decisions defensively, which will get him more ice time.
Canada's played so many tight games so far in this tournament. Their widest margin of victory, 5-1 over Denmark, but that was a 2-1 game midway through the second period. In comes Mangiapane, shoots, and Levi got just a piece of that. Picked up by Bunting, back around for Mangiapane. Back down to Bunting. Michael Bunting knocked off stride there by German. Plays it back in the corner, and Bunting wanted a penalty to be called. Both back on it. Bunting steps up, and now Severson knocks that back. Cooley back for Cousins. A long shot, hit a leg in front, picked up by Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky banks that ahead, knocked down by Cousins, and Cousins works in, drops it back. Bunting a hard shot. Levi the save.
Levi's been sharp to keep it 3-1.
Moved ahead for Slafkovsky, but the puck went into the Slovak bench. 1:18 to go here in the second.
So important that Slovakia can't give up a fourth before the third period starts. And another good opportunity. Bunting gets plenty on it, nice and high, but the tall Levi shrugs it off with his chest. Same sort of save he made on Bedard.
Dominic Cahoon, a power play goal for Germany. Now 2-1 Switzerland leading there in the second period.
Quarterfinals, they're all supposed to be close. It's not supposed to be easy.
Well, history tells us there's always one upset. Some greater than others. Back at the point, Parayko plays it back in. And here's Gunther with it. Down to Parayko. Switzerland, the second place finisher in Group A, but because the Czechs play their games here, as McCann shoots that wide, the Swiss had to move to Ostrava. Gunther plays that back for Parayko. To Owen Power, a shot bouncing around in front. Paul Rado was reaching for it. It's knocked away by Levi.
Good work in the offensive zone, puck support, and the patience by Power. Wait, let the screen get to the far side of the net, and then put the puck there. He waits for McCann to get in the spot. McCann ends up tipping it. Good awareness by Power.
For the face-off, picked up by Dubois. He's knocked down. Rebound loose in front for Tavares. Levi the save on that, still loose. And picked up now by Hudacek. Throws that ahead for Tatar. He's got single with him. Tatar in, shoots. It bounces around in front, scooped up by Hagel. And Hagel brings it back out. Hagel shoots. It's off the stick. Out of play.
And it almost given up a golden opportunity late in the period. Defender gets caught up ice. Parayko trying to hold the gap. Dubois not there in support, and the drag and pull, he's going to release it. And the long stick, reach, and feet of Owen Power turn it aside. It's okay for Franco to step forward, but Dubois, you have to be above your man. You can't be chasing him.
McBain for the face-off out there with Tanev and Mercer. Single for the draw for Slovakia. Off the drop, poke back to Byram. Swings it back in for McBain. He collides hard with Single. Koch feeds that back across. On the forecheck is Mercer. Played back around. Byram has to retreat, but knocks the puck back in the offensive zone onside. Apparently not. They'll say the puck came out.
Canada did a good job in this period. Come out up 2-1, played a solid period. Good penalty kill when they had to have it. Bennington stable in net. And an important third goal by Nick Paul.
Got a habit of scoring big goals this tournament. Golden goal in 2021.
Or in the NHL for that matter as well.
Yeah. Move back down to the Canadian zone. Bennington out to play it. We'll leave it there for Byram, and Canada will go to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead after 40 minutes of play at the 2014 World Hockey Championship quarterfinal day here in Prague.
Score after the second period, Canada 3, Slovakia 1. Stav utkání po druhé třetině, Kanada, Slovensko 3-1.
26 shots by Team Canada on one end, on the other hand 16 shots by Team Slovakia. One more period to go. At the least, we'll see. Well, enjoy the intermission program, including the quiz. In case you want to bring the summer Radia, you can take part in the quiz during the intermission and win. But before that,
světa ve fandení. IIHF, samozřejmě.
A nyní prosím, pojďte nevést.
With this QR code, scan it, open the app, and then decide who will. And the game, fan of Canada or fan of Slovakia. Dámy a pánové, že se hlasujete prostřednictvím oficiální aplikace, kterou mám přináleží značka Škoda. Máme na kandidáty Kanadu.
Both teams are playing at full strength. Oba týmy hrají v plném počtu.
Stop it now!
Whistle, good. Thanks for keeping it. If you don't catch it, it's in my face.
teams are playing at full scrum. Opportunity touchdown. Both teams are playing at full scrum. Opportunity. Both teams are playing at full scrum. Opportunity.
First time in Slovakian history and a real star of this tournament. Juraj Sapkovsky, only 20 years young. Where is his picture? Yes, almost 90% correct answers. Congratulations. That was number 3. And the final question in this quiz is, put the following countries in the correct order based on their place at the 2004 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. 4 countries, Slovakia, Sweden, Canada, and the United States. 20 years ago, one of the saddest moments in Czech ice hockey history, the quarterfinals, that we lost to the United States 2-3 after a penalty shootout. But it's time to change that. This is it. Canada and Sweden played the finals, and United States with Slovakia played the bronze medal game. This is it. And that was our quiz. And we're waiting for the winner. And the winner is Philippus. So, dear Philippus, in case you are Philippus, then pick up your prizes behind the Sector 101 and the information desk. Steli Philipsov, ak si vyzvedete ceny na informací hned za sektorem 101. Steli Philippus a prokážete si jako Philippus, ceny budou vaše. Now, it's almost time to check out the score in Strava. There is the second quarterfinal being played, and it's a question who will come back to Prague. Will it be Home Schwitz on the Deutschland? And Team Switzerland is in the lead, but only with 1 goal margin. It's 2-1 for Team Switzerland after 2 periods, and don't underestimate definitely Team Germany, because they won the silver medal a year ago, and they played the quarterfinal with Switzerland, and they won 3-1. Now it's 2-1 for Switzerland, and it will be an interesting third period. And now back to Prague. Team Slovakia is still living their semi-finals dream.
Na forčeku sme silní, dostatok k ním. Budeme to získať, páni. Poďme do piči.
Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Samuel Levine, rather 3 goals against on 26 shots so far. Jordan Binnington 1 on 16. We'll start the third period, 5-on-5. There's been 2 power plays in the game, 1 each way.
Canada is at their best when they play it forward, get it deep, get in the forecheck, and they can just grind Slovakia for 20 minutes. The offense will be there if they play that way. They don't have to chase or cheat. The better they are defensively, the better off they'll be in the third period.
Canada 7-0 in the tournament, the preliminary round. 2 of those wins in overtime. Took a shootout to beat the Slovaks last year.
Don't play with the skate. Stop, white word. Good job.
We're underway here in the third period. Long shooting by Feravari, steered away by Binnington. Owen Power plays it back around. Back at the point, Rivik tees it up and shoots. Pinballs around in front. Oh, what a stop by Binnington! Came back across. Looked like he stuck the pad out. They might have hit the post, but a close chance there for the Slovaks, and nearly going. Now Mercer threads it back in front. McBain with a chance. He's stopped by Levi. McBain plays it back for Tanev. Now Brandon Tanev back with it. River hockey here to start the third period. Tanev back for Power. His long shot tipped in front by Mercer. That bounces back into the corner. Oh.
That's for locking it down.
There's Power back across to Pareko. Winds and shoots, and a rocket goes high and out of play.
Feravari, right out of the gate, takes this carrying puck. It's wide open. He shoved it off the post at the last minute. It's a tight reaction. He's on a lefty. Oh boy, he just doesn't hit it. He's got an empty net. He's got enough at an angle. He just misses his target. Can't believe it. Should have been. Think of the chances Slovakia has missed.
Well, it was the one that Zellweger knocked away from an open net in the first period. Shaho skated by a puck in the slot in the second. And now that. Dubois drops it back. Cooley feeds it across. And Hagel a chance. He shot that through the crease.
That should be in the back of the net as well. Hagel can't believe it.
The only Slovak goal went in off the stick of Hagel when he was back defending. As Tavares brings it in. John Tavares winds in. Tavares shoots. Levi save. Rebound loose to the side of the goal. And Dubois was poking at that. There's Tavares back with it. Ford Cooley skipped away from him. Hagel backing him up. Hagel long shot that goes wide up the other side. Dubois with a chance. That was blocked by Nemitz. Radacek plays that for Tatar, the Slovak captain, Tomáš Tatar. A beloved figure in his home country. Big pass for Hudacek, and here in Czechia where he stars in a TV commercial with David Pastrnak. Away comes Mangiapane with it. High stick coming to Slovakia. Mangiapane plays it back across to Byram. Binnington hasn't seen that yet, so the extra skater didn't come on, but Canada's going to the power play here. A minute and 56 seconds into the third period.
Mangiapane trying to show the damage of the high stick to make it a 4 instead of a 2. Again, it clips him right in the nose.
Team Slovakia on 87. 4 minutes high stick.
It's a double minor.
So here's the one by Hagel. He goes back against the grain through the 5-hole out the back door. So 4 minutes. A real opportunity for Canada on the power play.
Paul, Cousins, Mangiapane, Tavares the forwards, Owen Power on the back end of this Canadian power play.
And Cousins' wrister. That has been the power play weapon for this group.
Face off won by Paul, back to Power. Owen Power back across to Cousins. In comes Cousins. Feeds that back to Power. Power back across to Tavares, heeled that wide. Here's Cousins back with it. Get to the corner, now moved down the ice by Suko. Binnington with the Slovaks changing. Plays that to Owen Power. Drops that back, it's picked up by Single, but Tavares stole that back. Would have been a 2-on-1 for the Slovaks, shorthanded. Mangiapane plays it back in. Back at the point is Power. Owen Power Slings it back across to Cousins. Cousins back to Power for Tavares. Paul parked in front. Here's Power. Back for Tavares. Walks out, feeds it across. That's knocked down and sent down the ice by Kellerman.
Good penalty killers, active sticks, taking away the lanes Canada is trying to exploit.
And now Byram moves it ahead. And Bedard up in the second power play unit for Canada. Dubois gains center ice. Across the line he goes to McCann. Jared McCann feeds that back to Byram. Across he goes to Bunting. Bunting back to Byram. A shot that was blocked by Chaho. And the rebound kept alive by Bunting. McCann back to Byram. For McCann, tries to go rink wide for Bedard. That pass deflected away by Yvonne. Bedard stays on it, but the puck rolls off his stick and back to center. In comes Connor Bedard. Winds it and shoots. Just missed wide on the far side. Rivik back with it. Feeds it back down to the Canadian zone. Slafkovsky moves it on Dubois. He feeds it back across to McCann. Lead pass to Bunting. For Byram. Drops it back. McCann shoots. That's blocked by Cheresnak, and the puck goes over the glass and out of play.
Good penalty killing for Slovakia. They can't get any seams. They're going around the edges. They get possession of the offensive zone, but when they try to get through the middle, not surprisingly, a Craig Ramsey coach team would be on point on the penalty kill.
3 seconds to go in the first minor penalty to Pavel Regenda. It's back to Paul, Mangiapane, Cousins, and Tavares, the forwards. Paul wins it back. Tavares, a shot blocked by Slafkovsky, and that injured Yuri Slafkovsky. His glove came flying off, and he's limping back to the Slovak bench. Mangiapane to Tavares. Batted back down the ice by Koch, but Slafkovsky in distress on the Slovak bench.
It's his left arm hand area.
Power to Tavares. Swings that back to Mangiapane. Andrew Mangiapane slides that back down to Power. The pass misfires. Cook plays it back ahead. And Binnington had it skip away from him as Cousins goes back to pick it up. Cousins pokes that to center ice. And Mangiapane slides it back. Away comes Power with it. Owen Power winds in. Slides that down to Paul. Taps it back to Cousins. The shot, and Levi makes the glove save.
Concern for Slafkovsky. Right off the faceoff, Tavares tees it up. Oh, he make a cuff save right on his left wrist inside. Oh boy, you're hoping that his fingers didn't catch a stray. Terrible to say, but I'm watching to see if they're all pointing in the right direction.
Right.
Because unfortunately we've seen those kind of pucks do significant damage to hands.
Now Dubois, Bunting, McCann, Bedard, the forwards. Byram, the defenseman on the power play. And Dubois moving Bedard into position. Wins it back to Bedard for Byram. Bowen Byram. And that puck skipped off his stick back out, and they call it offside.
Byram mostly frustrated himself. Nobody on him. Mishandled the puck over the offensive blue line. Trying to get the puck to Connor Bedard, and this is the moment. Like, you want the puck on Bedard's stick. He is the most talented offensive player on the ice. He's the guy who's going to make plays to create the best chance.
1:06 to go. A double minor to Pavel Regenda. Face off one and sent down the ice by Kellerman. And Binnington leaves it there for Byram. Bowen Byram. Ava Cranbrook, BC, drops that back to Dubois. Bedard fell in the play. Now the pass by Dubois is scrambled, and Bunting with Canada trying to get something going here. Winds ahead. In comes Michael Bunting. Spins back. Plays in the corner. German on it. And that's back down the ice as Byram goes back to pick it up.
Very scratchy power play for Canada, not taking advantage of a real opportunity so far.
Byram winds his way out. Moves through center ice, comes in across the line, drops it off to McCann. Down to Byram, to the point, he goes Dubois. Feeds it back across on a sharp angle shot by Bedard, stopped by Levi.
He was asking for help right away.
Levi fell awkwardly making that save on him in the mask.
Now, I want to be concerned for the goaltenders. So the puck goes up near his neck. So just because you ask for a whistle, does that mean you automatically get one? You know, because he's clearly fine. He's got to keep playing. It's a tough call for the official. Like, he doesn't know. Maybe he got him in the throat. Maybe he's having trouble breathing. He wants to blow the whistle right away, but his own guy bumped into him and he's fine. So it's a tough decision to make.
16 seconds to go on the power play. Hagel plays it back. Here's Parayko. Parayko down to Gunther with Paul parked in front. Dylan Gunther. Back to Parayko. Across he goes to Alexiuk. Final seconds of the 4-minute power play. Gunther takes that pass, shoots, and Levi makes the save through the screen of Nick Paul. And Regenda steps out, and Slovakia survives a 4-minute power play by Team Canada. It remains a 3-1 lead.
See Regenda coming over the bench. Little nod. Thank you, boys. Bailing me out. Slavkovsky back on the ice. Sprayed some of that magic freezer on the hand.
Ooh.
Stick it into a tub of ice water after the game, but he's back. Try to get Slovakia back in the game. And if you Canada, watch your sticks the next few minutes. Even though it was a high sticky penalty, don't give the refs a reason to call a hook or a hold on you.
Ball for the face-off against Rivik. The puck bounces high in the air in the feet of Gunther. And then we get a shot away. Was Hagel. Alexiuk back around for Gunther. Takes a whack at that. Ivan picks it up, centers it. Knocked away by Parayko on the stick of Gunther. He chips it ahead, and Canada's got numbers. In comes Gunther. Back in front for Hagel. Oh, what a stop by Levi. Paul sends it back, and Gunther scores! On the second try, Canada gets one, and it's 4-1. And Levi must feel like he deserves better than that. And Dylan Gunther has his first of the World Championship, and Canada now has 15 different goal scorers in the event.
Gunther chipped to himself. Good defensive play, user speed, gets it to Hagel. Really nice pass, but that is a glorious save by Levi. And he's wondering, where the heck's all my defense? Because I just robbed someone, keep us in the game. Nick Paul stays with it, and Brendan Hagel re-racks Gunther to the front, and Levi almost gets that one as well as chucks it upstairs. Counter-attacking defense to offense. Dylan Gunther, who is better and better as this tournament has gone along.
He's been rotating through the fourth line. The four so-called fourth line forwards have been rotating through. They've been productive. Paul has a goal. Bedard has an assist. Now Mercer winds in. Dawson Mercer drops it back to Damon Severson winding in. Severson shoots. Levi save. Rebound score! Brandon Tanev on the rebound. And it's a 5-1 game just like that. Goals 20 seconds apart.
I want to check for a pulse on Damon Severson. This, another good play up this. Watch Severson though on the ladder play. Whoop! Okay, right to the middle, walks around Tatar. You know, he's on the blue line. If he turns over, could be trouble, but he knows he's got him. Gets it to the net, and Tanev stopping on it. McBain right there as well. The two of them having the net bracketed, and the checking line getting it done. It's not the stars right now. It's more for Canada. It's the depth guys, if you want to call them that.
Tanev's third goal of this World Championship. He's been terrific. For people that have not seen him a lot, the nickname Turbo, well earned. Now Bedard sends it back in front for Tavares. So Bedard gets another first line shift with Dubois and Tavares. Bedard had a stick knocked out of his hands, quickly retrieves it, but Regenda's away. Along with Kellerman. Kellerman moves it and shoots, scores! Kellerman snaps it by Binnington, and it's back to a 3-goal lead. And the teams have scored 3 times in the last minute.
Righty, Rick. Connor Bedard lost his stick. He was the high guy. He went to pick it up for the back check without a stick, so it's a 3-on-2, and Bington beat clean. Kellerman surveying, bit of a no-looker, and Jordan Bington just misses it. Put it right past him to give Slovakia a little reason to believe after two quick Canada goals.
Kellerman played for Arizona this year in the NHL. Also Tucson, their American League affiliate, was the Czech Extra League Rookie of the Year a couple of years ago. Another chance in front, this time for Kudrna. Chaho plays that back at the point. Nemec shoots, deflected puck, Binnington save, and the rebound knocked away. Yvonne plays it back ahead. This game up on two wheels here in the third period. Chaho centers it. That's knocked away by Mangiapane, kept alive by Nemec, and the bouncing puck in the line again, kept alive by the Slovak defenseman. Backdoor pass blocked by Zellweger. Power knocks it away. Nemec sends it back in front. That shot pass missed by Dano. Pareko up for Mangiapane, finally knocks it out. And Yvonne being harassed there by Bunting. Plays it ahead as it's scooped up by Alexia. For Bunting, who chips it back down the Slovak zone. Levine thought that was icing.
Would have been, but ball beat it out.
Slavkovsky snaps that pass rink wide, and that plays offside at the Canadian line. Back and forth they go. Canada leads 5-2 here in the third.
And now it's time for cheers with Pilsner Urquell, the Giants leading in C2. Pilsner Urquell glasses, and your task is to cheer like you can. In case you need some inspiration, we haven't. Here is a stinger.
Yes, Ivor, and that's the pure Czech gold. And here in Czechia, we don't say cheers, but we say Nastaví! And now it's your turn.
Okay, and now it's your turn to cheers with your beer. And cheers with Pilsner Urquell, you can also get two beverages, but you must cheer now. Cheer with your neighbor. Repeat si.
Three goals in 48 seconds between Canada and Slovakia. It's a 5-2 game here in the third.
Canada wants to keep making plays, wants to keep attacking. But there's also got to be a recognition, you know, scrambling around inside your blue line. It's okay just chipping it out in the neutral zone.
Canada has been wobbly in some third periods. It was the 5-goal comeback by Austria.
Too late
to force
by
overtime.
Czechia.
Two late ones by the Czechs. Here's Paul on it. Nick Paul banks that back to Power. Back across to Pareko. And Gunther a long shot. Levine makes the save as McCann was looking for the loose puck.
And the golden opportunities missed by Slovakia keep piling up. This one, Kudrna. I mean, it hit him in the stick. Watch his eyes. He just keeps staring at his blade. Yeah, that's where the puck was. He can't believe he didn't tap it in the empty net. Should have been absolutely another goal for Slovakia. It would have been 5-3, and this place would have been going off.
This is just priming the fuse for tonight. Czechia and the United States here in Prague. The Americans with 4 teenagers in their lineup.
Time to watch the highest scoring team in the tournament.
Oh, bouncing puck off a strange bounce off the glass. Now centered, and Mercer couldn't connect on that pass from McBain. Cehlarik back the other way with it. Feravari leads the rush. The defenseman, it's off his stick, and Tanev spins away from Slavkovsky. That pass almost picked off by Cehlarik. Brought in by McBain. Jack McBain winds in. Works that back at the point. Hagel steps into that shot, hammered it wide. Power back with it. Owen Power drops it back to Alexiak off the bench. He steps into it. It's off the foot of Cehlarik. Up and over the glass.
Gunther has worked his way onto the lineup, then onto a line, and then now getting more minutes. And with good defensive plays, you see him creating some offense. That was a big 4th goal, and then the 5th one from Brandon Tanev right after. Thinking that game's over, but maybe not just yet, as Kellerman Slovakia's second, got them back within 3.
Tavares wins that face-off. Dubois gathers it back up. Pierre-Luc Dubois, coming off his first year with the LA Kings, plays that back to Jamie Alexiak. Now Dubois reaching for it. German took that away, but Dubois stays on it. German fell. Slides that back to Tatar. Now Koch with it. Pass Byram. And icing called against the Slovaks, who had tired players on the ice.
Canada's able to settle it down for a few minutes. Just a couple whistles, couple changes. Just don't let that frenetic feeling continue to build.
Paul for the face-off out there with McCann and Gunther. You can't win the puck with your feet. So Gunther picks it up, long shot by Byram, got through. Levi made the save on the deflection. Now McCann back with it. Jared McCann walks out. One hands it back in the corner. Koch back on it. Slides it ahead. Now knocked ahead by Hudacek. Rolling puck in the slot. McCann gets to that. At the line, knocked down by Nemitz, but Alexiak picks it off and sends it back to center. Here's Tatar with it. Tomas Tatar goes the other way and fires that down to the Canadian zone, and the Slovaks begin a change. 9:45 to go in the third. 5-2 here in Ostrava. Still 2-1 Switzerland on Germany in the third period. Swiss have lost 4 straight quarterfinal matchups. They go into the medal round with 6 wins in the preliminary round for the 3rd straight year. Kellerman with it. Back for Regenda. Centers it up by everyone. Now Ivan steps up. Takes a whack there from Severson. Bounces back to Kellerman, but Gouli takes that away. A rolling puck for Caden Gouli. Up for Bedard. He's got Mangiapane ahead. Mangiapane takes that pass onside. Andrew Mangiapane back in front for Bedard. Just missed, and Nemitz knocks it down. Nemitz up to center ice, and Severson got a stick on that. Cousins for Bedard. Drops it for Mangiapane. Back for Connor Bedard. Throws it back in front just behind Cousins. Gouli back with it. Shoots, tipped in front by Cousins and blocked by Ivan. Dylan Cousins back with it. In the corner for Mangiapane. Trying to find Bedard with that pass. And Regenda knocked it away. Banks it into Sukel. And Gouli took that away. Here's Bedard again. Slovaks are changing. Connor Bedard across the line. Bedard drops it off to Severson. Back to Bedard. Winds and shoots. Vi made the save but couldn't corral the rebound. McBain back on it. Feeds that back across. Picked up by Rivik. He tries to bank that ahead, but Parayko got in the way. And Canada makes a wholesale change. Out to center ice, picked up by Dawson Mercer. Up ahead for Tanev. Takes in Fervari hard. And now Mercer with the steal. Mercer back with it. Slavkovsky picks up that pass. And Tanev stays with him. Slavkovsky battling there with Tanev. He gives a lot away in height and weight, but stayed with it. Power banks it back around to Parayko. And now Tanev's helmet was knocked off. They might take them both here. 7:53 to go in the third period.
Today's attendance in the game, Canada versus Slovakia, is 17,275. Thank you so much for your support to the Cross IIHF World Championship in Czechia. Více než 17 000 diváků. Děkujeme mnohokrát.
Offsetting penalties to Canada's Brandon Tanev and Slovakia's Yuri Slavkovsky.
2 minutes for holding. Canada 13, 2 minutes for roughing.
So Slavkovsky for roughing. They got it backwards. Slavkovsky is the rough, Tanev's the hold.
He did have a leg hook on him as they went to the ground. Slavkovsky didn't like it, took his helmet off, so 5 on 5.
Stay 5 on 5, the IHF rules. have been changed, so they don't do 4-on-4 anymore. Hagel hangs that back down to the Slovak zone. 7:45 to go here in the third period. Germán goes back. Chaho banks that back. Bank back around to Mario Germán. From a Red Deer Rebel. Also remember the Kootenay Ice in the Western League. Chaho winds in. Bouncing puck high in the slot, knocked down by Tavares. And Tavares banks it back to center ice for Hagel, but the pass out of his reach.
Don't play by Tavares to go for it with his glove right in the slot there. Don't swing with your stick, just grab with your hand.
Pass in behind Krudina. Chaho has it taken away by Hagel. He had Dano on him, but slides the puck back to Byram. Owen Byram works ahead and drops that back for Alexiak. Jamie Alexiak moves in across the line. Lumbers in and fires, and Levi makes a bad stop on that. Shot from Jamie Alexiak.
Levi shaking at his wrist, it hurt his hand.
Gunther moves in, drops it back to Paul with a shot, put that just high.
That's great. He got a bruise on his hand from Alexiak's slapper.
Nemitz plays it back around to Kudacek. That's stolen away by Gooley. Back in front is Gunther, feeds it back. Oh, what a stop by Levi on Paul. Another great stop by Levi. That's fired high. Bounces right back in front.
That hit the nets. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, that hit the meshing and behind. The referee was late with the call.
Bennington randomly played it off his head to dump in. And that was after this incredible save. Gunther, Paul, empty net. No! Levi has had a highlight reel save all over the place. And that one, everyone on Canada, Bennington and Good is reacting to the puck into the mesh. And eventually, the referee blows it down.
Suko for the face-off against McBain.
Not too far away from early pull material. 4 minutes maybe on the clock. We're gonna go down that road.
Off the draw, one back by McBain, who taps that back to Gooley. Gooley's pass goes off for Genda, bounces back to center ice, knocked away from Mangiapane. Severson. Up for Mercer, who chips that down. It's high off the glass in behind Levi. Paravari. Across to Cherishnak. That's broken up. Severson knocks it ahead to McBain. In comes Jack McBain, drops it back to Mercer, walks in, Mercer still with it. And Dawson Mercer throws it back in front. Mangiapane missed on that. Severson takes a shot. Levi had dropped his stick and covers the puck with his blocker. 5:46 to go here in the third.
Well, dear hockey friends, this is Alex, and this is already the fifth game of Slovakia, which Alex is supporting there. Wow, congratulations, amazing. And now, Alex, your goal is to guess which song our DJ Aleš Matoušek a little improved. Okay, ty úplne uhádnou, jakou známou písničku náš DJ Aleš Matoušek trošku upravil. To bude hodně těžký, tak povídej.
To ego žijeme na nás.
A máš samozřejmě pravdu, right? And now your goal is to choose from 6 cards, and under each card is some prize for you. So which one do you want? F, jako František. Amazing t-shirt only for you. This is Alex.
5:46 to go here in the third period. Canada leading Slovakia 5-2. Paul back out there with Gunther and McCann in the forward line.
I'm not even saying the names and numbers. Everybody gets on sportsmanlike. So Mangiapane for Canada. It means it is stick in the penalty box, and Huff for Slovakia. Strong, even things up.
Again, it stays 5-on-5. Still 2-1 Switzerland on Germany in the third period. They're late in the third there. Knocked down by McCann. For Paul. Paul back for McCann. Knocked away by Levi. He's lost his stick again. and doesn't pick it up. Power shoots and fired it wide. Levi was busy arguing with the official, elected not to pick up his stick. Rivik up along the boards, and now Ivan with it. Now chip back down to the Canadian zone as Binnington goes back. Power moving back. McCann to the line. Kept led by Nemetz. Now moved back out by McCann as Canada makes a change. Cehlarik drops it back to Fehérváry. Fehérváry winds it and shoots. That goes well wide. Bounces back to the point for Nemetz. In for single, centers it. Another chance put wide by Hudacek. The puck rolls back down to the Slovak zone. Icing waved off as Nemetz goes back inside 5 to go here in the third period. Bedard works it free. Connor Bedard works it back in front for Bunting, and a save by Levi. Connor Bedard didn't have a point in his last 4 games. He's been noticeable. Now he's in a scrum. Giving Hudacek a whack.
He got away with a high stick on Fehérváry. When he tried to jump over Fehérváry at the Glen right here. Right into his head. And does not get called. Makes a nice play to Bunting. Definitely want to keep your discipline. Hudacek gives a pretty good shot there, but sometimes you just got to take it. Here's the high stick. I mean, he rakes it right across his face. Bunting right in front of the net. I guess they're not going to call any penalties there, as there seems to be. If you're Canada, it's not about proven toughness. Obviously, that's there. Just don't give them reason to call a penalty.
Cousins, Bunting, Bedard, the forwards for Canada. Face off one back by Cousins. Knocked back to center ice by Regenda. Alexiuk to Bedard. Trying to sweep that back to the Slovak zone. It was blocked by Regenda. Now moved ahead by Bunting. In comes Bunting, and a penalty coming to Canada. Bunting took down Sukal, and with 4:18 to go,
that is not a penalty.
The Slovaks are going to the power play.
That is not a penalty. Sukal comes jumping in here. No, take that back. That's a hook. Yeah, good call. I just said you can't give him a reason to call a penalty. You stick out.
All right, so now,
once it's in the offensive end and you have possession, get the goalie out. They get Bedard on an unsportsmanlike as well.
Hang on here.
Canada number 8, 2 minutes for Bukin. Canada 98, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike.
Oh my goodness.
5-on-3 Slovakia, 4:18 to go in the third.
They want a 10. They're like, well, how are you giving him a minor? You give him a 10, it doesn't matter. You put your hands on your hips, that's a major. That's a misconduct.
Right.
Which is completely different than you play a 5-on-4. Connor Bedard, still terrible timing to take that penalty in a game that is home and cool. Done.
4:18 to go. Levi is in the Slovak net for now. 5-on-3 Slovakia for the full 2 minutes.
And would a Bedard skate there and not the stick out of Levi's hand in the penalty?
Nemetz. Hudacek. Back for Nemetz. Nemetz back across to Slafkovsky. Feeds it down to Tatar. Back for Nemetz. Steps into that. Binnington save. Rebound picked up by Pareko. Off the glass, but not out. Held by Slafkovsky. Back at the point, Slafkovsky. Swings it back across for Nemetz. Nemetz down to Tatar. Tomáš Tatar. Back for Nemetz with a shot. That's blocked by Cousins. And Dylan Cousins has some time and then lays it down the ice. There's the first 30 seconds gone as Nemetz has it back. Up ahead to Rivik. Hagel, the forward out there for Canada. Hudacek plays that down for Rivik. Back across to Slafkovsky. Juraj Slafkovsky. Back in the corner for Tatar. Tatar moves it out to Slafkovsky. Back for Tatar. Feeds it across to Hudacek. Hudacek. Levi is still in the net. Nemetz with it. Shimon Nemetz feeds it back across. Slafkovsky is shot. Alexiuk got in the way. The puck bounces high in the air. Batted ahead by Slafkovsky. Now back at the line is Nemetz. Walks in, feeds it across. Hudacek sends it in. They score! Rivik with 45 seconds to go in the double minor. So still a power play for the Slovaks, now down 5-3.
They did what they had to do. Took a minute 15. Rivik sweeps the empty net.
Just a second power play goal for the Slovaks in the tournament.
So Brandon Hagel chases Slafkovsky here. That opens everything up. Now it's a 4-on-2 back to the middle. Hagel's got to hang in the middle of the ice there. He can't chase the boards late in a penalty kill. And it's a really nice pass from Dacek over to Rivik. No chance for Jordan Bennington. So the extra binder to Bedard for unsportsmanlike, as well as the ill-timed hook by Bunting. It's getting a tough spot.
So the Slovaks now call timeout. They've got 45 seconds left in the power play, which will be 5-on-4, depending what they do with Levi.
Robert Petrovicki with the whiteboard in his hand, diagramming things up. And
well, the funny part of this whole thing is that he does it because Craig Ramsey, the Slovak coach, doesn't speak Slovak.
Right. Even though all his players would be able to understand him in English, but so probably with possession, goaltender comes out in the offensive zone.
We mentioned it's been white knuckle time for Canada in the third period a few times in this tournament. So McBain for the face-off against Cehlarik. McBain wins it back. Sent down the ice by Power. And Levi back to pick it up for Ferivari. Ferivari up for Cehlarik. Levi goes to the Slovak bench. Picked up by Power. He's got some time. Owen Power off the glass and back to center. Rivik for Ferivari. Back to Rivik. Plays it back for Regenda. Looks down to Rivik. That pass misfired. Power's got it. And Power with some time. Off the boards, but not out. Slafkovsky being tied up by Tanev. Feeds that back to Ferivari. Final seconds of the power play. Regenda had to go off his stick, up and out. And that face-off will be in the Canadian zone, it looks like.
It was an interesting decision by Canada. When they were scored on, Bedard or Bunting could have gone out of the box. Bunting left. I would rather have Bunting in the box, because in 4 seconds, Bedard has to go on the ice and play defense in his own end.
Right.
I'd rather have the more experienced, better defensive guy spend the full 2 minutes so that he can come on the ice and play when the penalty expires.
And Bedard just asked for instructions, is told to come straight to the bench.
Well, you can't go to the bench, the puck's in your own
right.
end.
Tavares for the face-off against Suko. One by Tavares, bouncing puck loose in front. Tavares reaching for it. And Bedard is back out. 6-on-5, Slovakia. Bedard reaching for it, sends it back to center. Nemitz with it, plays that back. Bedard goes off. On comes Dubois for Canada. Lead pass for Suko. For single shoots, that's gloved by Binnington. He'll hang on to that. 1:59 to go here in the third.
Canada gives up 1 on the 5-on-3 on a nice play, but certainly not 2, which would have made things very difficult. But they were victimized against Czechia in this situation. 6-on-5 late in the game.
Yeah, Czech scored twice with the goalie out. 1 6-on-4, 1 6-on-5.
So face-off option, they have Paul and Tavares, first and third in the tournament in face-offs.
Rivik for Slovakia. A scramble draw picked up by Gunther. He can't clear it out. Rivik looks ahead. Hudacek plays that down for Tatar. Back to Hudacek. And back at the point, Nemitz feeds it across for Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky. Rivik. Back around to Hudacek to Rivik. Feeds that back to Slafkovsky for Nemitz. A shot. He just cued it. Tavares has got it. John Tavares fires it down the ice and misses the empty net. And icing called with 1:34 to go in the third.
Andre Tournier wants to know where's the trip on Gunther after the faceoff, but Tavares, it's okay to shoot for the empty net. When you have room to skate, you didn't have to shoot it then. He misses it, and now he's forced to play tired in his own end.
Tavares for the face-off again against Rivik. Won cleanly by Rivik. Back to Farivari for Nemitz. On the line, he kept it alive. Rivik takes a whack at that, and now Alexiak with time. Lifts that to the front. And the blue line held. Gunther had it knocked away. Tavares moves it ahead for Paul. Picked up by Hudacek, who feeds that back for Tatar, but he's tied up. Puck is under Hudacek, picked up by Tavares. Trying to gain the blue line. And play continues here. Some thought it was stopping. Rivik with it. Drops that back to Hudacek. Minute to go in the third period. Hudacek, poke check there by Gunther. And Gunther reaching for it for Paul. Nick Paul's got some time, flips that in the air.
Oh,
scores! Whoa! Nick Paul with a bloop single into the net. And Canada's up 6-3.
Even he has to laugh at that one. The alley-oop. He's just trying to get this over the defenders for a change. Gets the right side of center. And how about this? Over the center fielder's head. Slafkovsky thought he was playing deep to not let anything get over his head. And Nick Paul secures a 3-goal lead again for Canada.
It has not been dull.
No.
And Nick Paul with 2 in the game. And an assist.
It really has been everybody chipping in for this victory. Now he is Tanev, Kellerman. Kellerman's going home, right? He's not playing again.
Right.
Brandon Tanev's got a semifinal and hopefully a gold medal game to deal with. So, you know, you want to take a swing at someone. We know they are quick to suspend on things that...
Well, we saw Marcus Granlund, or Mikael Granlund, rather, the
captain of Finland,
captain suspended a game
playing against Sweden for a cross-check late in the game. So Tanev would be well served to keep his cool here.
This is Tanev's first international tournament for Canada as well.
As much as Turbo can keep his cool.
Bennington back around for Severson. And McBain plays that ahead. Ivan. Rink wide to Regenda. Feeds it back in front for Kellerman. That's knocked back by Severson. Up for Tanev. Looks for Mercer. That pass misfired. Christoph Bershi scored into an empty net. 3-1 Switzerland has defeated Germany. So barring something unforeseen, Canada will take on the Swiss in the semifinals here on Saturday. That's if the Swedes beat Finland later today. And Tanev's back into it with Kellerman now. And again, got to be really careful here.
I don't know why they're putting Kellerman in the box. Throwing them. And I'm talking to the Slovakian bench now. Not surprising. There's not much there. It's just chatter and bumping. But at this point, if you're on the tour here, I'd probably get these guys off the ice.
Right.
Like, you know, they've played so well. It's been a good game. Don't want to risk anything escalating.
Slovakia 21, 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct.
That fourth line has done a number. McBain and Tanev. Mercer. So, Canada does what they have to do in the quarterfinal. I was there the 5 years in a row where it seemed like they could never win this game.
Yeah, now they've won 9 straight. Canada will seek to go to the gold medal game for the 8th time in the last 9 years. The road gets even tougher from here. Severson back across to Gooley. Cage Gooley down to Hagel, and Canada wins it 6-3. Canada 8-0 now, heading for the semifinals again at the 2024 World Hockey Championship. And the Slovaks will once again finish down the standings. They have been 8th or 9th each of the last 5 World Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, we do have first
Next stop for them internationally will be an Olympic qualification tournament on home ice in Bratislava in August against Kazakhstan, Hungary, and Austria, with a chance to advance to the 2026 Olympic Games. We'll get the players of the game. We'll also get the top 3 players of the tournament for Slovakia, and then the Canadian anthem.
It's going to be a tough matchup the way this worked out for Slovakia going up against Canada. They knew that.
They wind up losing their last 3 games in the tournament.
They would look back at this game though, and yes, they were outshot 2-1 and they didn't deserve to win, but they had so many chances. They could put a 5 spot on easily in this game, 5 or 6, with some of the golden opportunities they missed.
The best players of each team will be awarded with a watch by Tiso, the official timekeeper of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship. The prizes will be presented by the owner of Patron, sponsor of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship, Konstantin Chavel, and the Tatra Bank representative, Mrs. Milada Halova. Best player of Team Slovakia, number 42, Martin Fehervari.
He played a ton for his team. Slovaks will always give you a battle.
Best player of Team Canada, number 14, Dylan Gunther.
Gunther is chosen by the Canadian management group as Canada's player of the game.
Great to see his game growing as the tournament goes along, figuring it out on the fly.
The 3 best players of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship of Team Slovakia will now be awarded with a prize from the organizing committee. The 3 best players award is selected by each team and will be presented by Head of Media Department of the organizing committee of the 2024 IIHF Ice Hockey World Championship, Mr. Miloš Čini. The 3 best players of Team Slovakia are number 31, Samuel Hlavaň.
Hlavaň, the goaltender,
came into this game.
Vodacek.
And number 90, Tomáš Tatar.
Tatar, no, Juraj Slafkovsky, who had 8 assists in 8 games for them.
I want to recognize the veteran Tatar. Hlavaň had a fantastic tournament, led the tournament in goals in save percentage coming into this game.
Dear all, please rise if you're able to for the national anthem of winning team. The national anthem of Canada. Ďakujeme Slovensku, těšíme se na vás o Švédsku a Dánsku. Děkujeme vám všem fanouškům a faninkám ze Slovenska za to, že jste dorazili do Prahy a vytvořili Well, ladies and gentlemen, we know that Team Canada is once again through to the semifinals that will be played on Sunday. And there's another semifinals of the IIHF World Championship, and it is Team Switzerland that had beaten Team Germany. So Canada and Switzerland are two of the four semifinalists. The rest will be decided in the evening. Also, is expecting a significant derby between Sweden and Finland. And here, the main course will come. In case you're the ticket holders for USA versus Czechia, we kindly ask you to exit the arena and re-enter and get ready for the pre-game program. Sami vidíte, co nás čeká, kamarádi, jsou semifinalisté mistrovství národní hokej. Večer se rozhodne o třetí semifinalistovi mezi Skandinávské a Ostravě, mezi čtvrtfinálisty. A nás ve 2020 čeká čtvrtfinálová bitva USA Česko. Jste-li mají tady vstupenek, prosím, opustili arénu a vraťte se zpět, aby vám nic moc zadálil nikdo. Ale ještě jednou, dámy a pánové, rozlučka snaží vybrat ještě jednou tým Slovenska!
You made it 4-1 Canada in the third, ultimately a 6-3 win, and you're off to the semifinals. For a Slovakian team that has a real pace of play, what stood out to you about Canada's performance today?
I thought we played well, from start to finish. I think it's important in these tournaments that we try to get better every game, and I thought we've done that. So moving on to the semis now.
You mentioned you try to get better every game. How do you think Canada has gotten better as a team from game one now until heading to a semifinal performance?
Yeah, I think just details, maturity. I mean, a lot of us haven't really played together, and I don't really know a lot of the guys on the team. So I think coming together off the ice is helping our on-ice performance.
You're now just 2 games away from potentially having a gold medal hanging around your neck. What do you want to hone in on these last few days?
Yeah, I think just enjoy the experience. I mean, the crowds here have been unbelievable. This is nothing like I've ever played in before. So have some fun, enjoy it, and, take it one game at a time.
Thanks, Dylan. Congrats on the win.
Thanks.
Thomas, a 6-3 loss, but a real solid push from your team in the third period. What stood out to you about that final push?
We tried. Too bad we didn't have a good start of the game. We were behind 2 right off the hop. I mean, they have a strong team. Like I said, the start of the game wasn't ideal for us, and I wish I could take it back. But it's something our young guys can learn from. It's experience, another tournament for them, and I think Slovakian hockey has a few bright future.
You talk about that bright future, and you've got a C in your chest. What are you saying to the locker room to try and keep spirits up after what was otherwise a really strong tournament?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty emotional speech. I'm proud of the whole locker room. We battled through the group stage. Made it here. Obviously, didn't get the result what we wanted, but like I said, we still have a young team. That's a lot of experience for us, and we're looking for a future.
And this is your 7th World Championship. What will you remember most fondly about your experience in both Ostrava and Prague?
The atmosphere, the atmosféru v Ostrave, bolo to niečo skvelé, proste tá podpora tých ľudí a naozaj ten tým, mali sme to výborné, takže som veľmi šťastný, že som mohol byť súčasťou tohto týmu a možno teším sa na ďalšie šampionáty.
Thank you, Thomas.
Ďakujem.
All right, Gordo.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Something like that. Okay. We all set here? Okay. Okay, here we go. 5 seconds. Well, the headline before this game was that Connor Bedard was listed as Canada's 13th forward, but in the end, he plays a pretty big role as the rest of Canada's depth players.
So Canada's been getting by with a lot of their top players having really good tournaments. But in this game against Slovakia, think about the last 4 goals. Nick Paul gets a couple. Dylan Gunther, who wasn't always even in the lineup at times, gets one. Brandon Tanev on your checking line gets one. They were the difference makers. Connor Bedard had a very strong game, his best game in the last 3 or 4 games as well. And you love the fact that as this tournament goes along, the team is taking shape. Guys are figuring out the role, figuring out how to play, and good players are figuring out how to be successful given the role that they've been assigned. And that's not always easy to do, to accept and then to embrace and thrive in a 12-minute, 10-minute bit part role. Guys are not used to doing that. It's a great sign to see some of the depth players have a really good game. And they needed it. Well, Canada was certainly in control in this game, kind of outshot Slovakia 2-1 basically. Slovakia did have several good opportunities and some good defense, some good fortune they were not able to cash in on. Otherwise, the game could have been a little bit tighter than it was.
So Canada has won a quarterfinal game for the 9th straight year at the World Hockey Championship, and losing 5 straight prior to that. It's on in the semifinals at the World Championship. Thank you.